Hi guys, welcome to the first TOTT quiz. I hope you're all staying safe and at home during this difficult time. We just thought we'll try and give you something to do during sometimes the boring long days, which we're all having to suffer at the minute. The quiz takes place every Friday. If you're interested in taking part, we'll put all the details on the website. Perhaps if you want to, you can come and join the rather growing host of ITFC fans who take place on Zoom, their new app, which we've been trying out, and it all seemed to go quite swimmingly last week. So, yeah, if you're interested, let us know. This quiz is all for fun. If you do cheat, obviously we have no control, but you are only ruining that excitement for yourself. All you need to do this is grab a pen and paper, and then we shall see how you get on. There are 7 rounds in total. It should take around about 20 minutes to complete. And this is going to be streamed live on YouTube. So you will be able to pause it, rewind it, wherever you want to, just in case you missed a question or you want to pop to the toilet, or if you want to just do a little bit, then complete it later on. That's absolutely fine. Like I said, you can pause forwards, backwards, whatever you want to do at your leisure. Right, let's get started. The first round is a picture round. And we've got some famous ITFC faces, and they are a little bit blurred out. All I need you to do is to write down who you think that player is. So we'll get started. Here is the first one. Okay. And it's the second one. It's number 3. Bit of a difficult one, that one. Number 4. Number 5. And here are the answers. Okay, so just the 5 pictures in the first round. First one is, of course, McMills. Number 2 was Tamas Priskin, one of Roy Keane's famous signings. Number 3, Alan Mann. Number 4, of course, Herman the Wrightson. And number 5, the former Newcastle defender, Stephen Taylor. Okay, so the first round was out of 5. You got to keep a running total of how you've got on. Okay, the next round is questions all regarding this season. Okay, so I'll read out each question, then I'll give you a few seconds and move on to the next one. Okay, all the questions will stay on the screen. Okay, so if you do miss it or whatever, don't worry about pausing it at this second. You'll still be able to see it. So, James Norwood was our marquee signing last summer, signing on a free transfer from Tranmere Rovers. But against who did he score his first league goal for Town against? Okay, our first defeat of the season came at Accrington Stanley, but what was the score? Question 2. Question 3. Where did Town send youngster Idris El Mazouni on loan to in January? Question 4. Can you name the 3 opponents Town faced in the group stages of the Leasing.com Trophy this season? Okay, so remember that is the group stages. You'll get a point for each one of them, so you've got 3 points up for grabs on that one. Number 5, Caden Jackson scored a dramatic last gasp winner against AFC Wimbledon at Portman Road, but who scored the equaliser? And question 6, Luke Wolfton has been in superb form this campaign, but against who did he open his account for this season? Okay, so who did he score his first league goal for this season? Or against, rather. Okay, so the answers, we've got James Norwood's first league goal was against Peterborough. Our first defeat of the season came against Acton Stanley, with the score being 2-0. Colby Bishop double, I think. Toto NCR, a nightmare. Where did Town send youngster Idris Amazuni on loan to in January? It was Cambridge United. Can you name the 3 opponents Town faced in the group stage of the Leeson.com trophy? You got 1 point for each. You got Colchester, Gillingham, and Spurs, under 21s or under 23s, whatever it was, the youngsters. Kane Jackson scored a dramatic last gasp winner against Wimbledon, but who scored the equaliser? It was James Norwood. And Luke Wolfton scored his first Town goal this season against Lincoln City. Okay, so this round is out of 8. You got the 3 points up for grabs for question number 4. Okay, so have a little total up, and we'll move on to our next one. So squad numbers. In a player victory against Barnsley, Martin Russo scored the 4th goal. What number was he wearing? Should be a nice easy one to get you started. Caden Jackson currently wears the number 9 shirt, but who wore it before him? Tyrone Mings signed from Chippenham in 2013. What squad number was he first given? Who currently has the number 13 squad number? I've got a little bit of an equation for you. So I'm looking for the shirt number, okay, of Roger Osborne FA Cup final. If you multiply that shirt number by Matt Holland's number, and if you divide that number which you've got by the squad number Luke Chambers currently wears, you should get a number. The number should be a whole number. If not, I've done something wrong, or maybe you've done something wrong. And just to help you out on that one, we've got Matt Holland wore the number 8 shirt for Town, but who wore it after him? Okay, so it's a little bit of a clue if you can't work out number 5. Okay, right, answers. Martin Russo wore the number 30 shirt. Ken Jackson currently wears number 9. Who wore it before him? It was Martin Waghorn. Tyrone Mings signed from Chippenham. His first squad number for Town was 15. Who currently wears the number 13 shirt? It's Harry Wright. Can you work out this equation of Roger Osborne's FA Cup shirt multiplied by Matt Holland's shirt and divided by Luke Chambers? So Roger Osborne wore 7. Matt Holland, as we've just found out, wears number 8. He divided by Luke Chambers is number 4, and that should give you 14. Okay, and there's a little bit of a spoiler for that one. So Matt Holland does wear the number 8 shirt. And who wore that after him? It was Tommy Miller, one of several spells with the club. Okay, this one's guess the team. I'm going to give you a little bit longer on this one. So all we're going to do is I will give you a game, the result, the season. All you've got to try and do is as many players who started that game as possible. Okay, I will give you a little helping hand, a little bit of a clue of the nationalities of each of those players. Okay, so I'll just give you a minute or so with this one. So the game is Ipswich Town 3, Newcastle 1, the 2016-17 season. Okay, so it's only a few years ago. And could you name as many of the starting 11 as possible? Okay, so obviously 11 points up for grabs, a point per player. And I'll give you a little bit of time to have a little go at that one. Right, okay. If you want a little bit more time, you just pause the video right now and try and work it out. But if you are done, you can continue with me and we'll have a look at the answers. So this is our team. So we've got Bart in goal, Jordan Spence, Christoph Bearer, Luke Chambers and Miles Kenlock with a back four. We've got Grant Ward, Cole Scouse, Emma Hughes, Freddie Sears, Tom Lawrence and David McGoldrick. Okay. So just to remind you, that is 11 points. So you got a point per a correct answer. The game which will be forever remembered for Emma Hughes' rocket for the first goal. Okay, the last five. So again, something a little bit different. The first thing first, you do not have to answer them any particular order. Okay, so you get 1 point per correct answer. If you score 5 out of 5, you'll then get a bonus of 2 points. So you've got 7 points up for grabs. So there's 2 different rounds for this one. The first one, can you name the last 5 town players who scored more than 15 goals in a season? Okay, so that's more than 15 goals in a season. I would say just a league season, but obviously our cup runs recently have been fairly non-existent. So it is 15 goals in a season in all competitions. Obviously not friendlies, but FA Cup, League Cup, and leasing.com. Okay, so last 5 town players to do it. You haven't got to name the goals, you haven't got to name the season, you just got to name the player. Okay, and the second one is name the last 5 town managers who were in charge of a victory over Norwich City. Okay, so the last 5 managers who are in charge of an Ipswich Town team that defeated Norwich City. Okay, so again, I'm not looking for the season, I'm not looking for the result, I'm not looking for who scored, I'm just purely looking for the manager who was in the dugout or in the stands for that victory. Okay, I'll give you another few seconds. And again, just like before, if you want a little bit more time, you can pause the video. If not, you can stay with me and we'll have a look at the answers. Right, okay, so the answers. The last 5 town players to score more than 15 goals in the season. You can have Martin Waghorn, you've got Daryl Murphy, Dave McGoldrick, Alan Lee, and then you've got one of Darren Bent or Chef Kikuchi. Okay. So if you've got 5 of their names, you've scored yourself 7 points. If not, you've just got 1 for every single name. Okay, the last 5 managers who are in charge of an Ipswich Town team that defeated Norwich. Here they are. So you've got Jim Chilton, Joe Royal, George Burley, John Lyle, and Bobby Ferguson. They're the last 5 town managers. We all know what happened after Jim Chilton's win against Norwich, and unfortunately, we've not beaten them since. Okay, the missing link. So what this is we are going to show you 4 badges, one of which we have removed. All I need you to tell me is who the player is and what club have we removed the badge of. Okay, so this is their sort of playing history. This is permanent clubs only. Okay, so he obviously at Plymouth, moved to town, went somewhere else and ended up at Portsmouth. Okay. Okay, next one. We've got Southampton, blank, Ipswich, and Sheffield United. Should be an easier one, perhaps. Okay, the final one. We've got blank, and we've got Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday, and then Town. So again, they might have had a couple of loan spells at different clubs whilst with their parent clubs, but these are the parent clubs where they've moved from time to time. Okay. So the answers. The first one, so Plymouth, Town, blank, and then Pompey. We've got Paul Mariner. So a point if you've got Paul Mariner, and the blank team would be Arsenal. So that's out of 2 points there. Next one should be a slightly easy one. The missing player is David McGoldrick, and the badge, Nottingham Forest. Some people might think Coventry. He was only on loan at Coventry, where he scored a load of goals, and he got recalled by Forest, and then obviously joined Town. And the last one, Jim Magilton. Okay. And the missing club was Oxford. Right, the final round now, injury time. We've got 6 questions. If you are not sure on the answers in injury time, I would not answer them, because if you score incorrectly or if you get the answer wrong, you'll lose your points for this round. So again, it's out of 6. But if you get one question wrong, you'll have 0. Okay, so obviously if you get the 6, brilliant. If not, you'll score 0. So Town signed Kane Vincent-Young from our neighbours Colchester United, but who was the last player we signed from the U's prior to that? Okay, so who's the last player we got from Colchester prior to Kane Vincent-Young? Okay, 9-man Town were humiliated at Peterborough in 2011. I won't even mention the score. In that game, obviously, we've got two players sent off. Can you tell me who was the first player who was sent off in this game? Okay, remember, if you're not certain, not to put anything. Obviously, you can have a little pen. You can put it in pencil. You have a little guess, but for the end of the round, if you're marking it and it's wrong, you'll score yourself 0 for the round. George Burley was axed as Town manager after losing to at Grimsby. But what was the year? So what year did George Burley get sacked as Town manager? Question 4. Town famously won the FA Cup by beating Arsenal 1-0. But who did we beat in the semi-finals? Question 5. Which ex-Norwich City goalkeeper made the move to Ipswich Town in 2001? So which goalkeeper made the move from Norwich to Ipswich in 2001? And the last question. So Jason Dizelle left Town in 1993 to join which club? So Jason Dizelle left Town in 1993 to join which club? Right, and that is your last question. Let's check out the answers. Remember, if you get them right, get a tick. If you get one wrong, you will score 0 for this round. So I've got Kane Vincent-Young was signed from our neighbours Colchester, but who's the last player we signed from the U's? It was Freddie Sears. 9-man Town were humiliated at Peterborough in 2011. But who was the first player who got sent off? It was Lee Martin. And some people might have put the other player who was sent off, which was Tommy Smith, of course. George Burley was acted as Town manager after losing at Grimsby. But what was the year? It was 2002. Town famously won the FA Cup by beating Arsenal 1-0, but who did we beat in the semi-finals? It was West Brom. The ex-Norwich City goalkeeper who moved to Town back in 2001 was Andy Marshall. And finally, Jason Tizell left town in 1993 to join which club? And it was Tottenham Hotspurs. So again, you've got 6 out of 6, 0 out of 6, or anything in between. Okay, so remember, if you submitted a wrong answer, then you get 0 in that round. So that concludes the quiz. If my maths is correct, the total would be out of 56. So if you'd like to let us know on any of our social media pages of how you got on, anything above 50, I'd call you a cheat. But yeah, I hope you had a bit of fun. Like I said, if you want to take part in the live main quiz, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit more questions, then let us know. That will take part on Friday evenings. Okay, so let us know for any of our social medias. We'll put a link on the website as well. You want to comment and let us know. We do host it on Zoom, so yeah, it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of chat. We get to speak to people, and yeah, like I said, we have a bit of fun making it as well. If not, we'll condense it again, and then we'll put the next one out next week. Okay, so you can have a little go at home with your families or anything like that. Like I say, it is only a bit of fun. So thank you very much. All right, see you next week.